New tonight, it's been nearly a year since Robert Brooks, a black man who was incarcerated at Marcy Correctional Facility, was beaten to death by corrections officers who were later sentenced for their roles in that deadly attack. Now our investigative team is looking into a case at another state prison where an inmate claims he came close to suffering a similar fate. Tonight, investigative reporter Charlie Speck is hearing from that man and his wife who say they want something done.
But you want everything for the truth. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
It's been 13 years since Kimberly Watson's husband, Earl, was convicted of robbery, burglary, and assault, and sentenced to 18 years in state prison. She says her husband, Earl Watson, has tried to make the best of his time at Wende Correctional Facility in Alden, working toward his paralegal degree despite the fact that he is legally blind in one eye.
My husband is not an idle person. That man loves to work, loves to be busy, loves to help, loves to be productive.
But when the wildcat strike in state prisons went on earlier this year, Earl Watson filed a flurry of grievances, alleging neglect, mistreatment, and the taking away of the programs he relied upon to better himself.
And once he started writing these grievances, once he started filing these complaints, once he said, I'm sending it to the Supreme Court, things started to get worse.
On November 6th, she received a panicked phone call from Earl, who said he had just been assaulted by more than a dozen corrections officers in a scene they say was reminiscent of Robert Brooks, who was beaten to death by COs in a state prison last year.
I thought of Robert Brooks, hearing my husband scream, don't kill me, please stay, they're gonna kill me. I was like, am I going to hear my husband's last words? Is my husband going to be killed today?
In an audio recording he made for Two on Your Side, Earl Watson said he was, quote, gang assaulted after he was handcuffed coming out of the shower.
And 9 other officers came out of their office, shirts off, no cameras, on their chest, and beat me from behind, punching me, kicking me, punching me, and kicking me. The security punched me in my neck and my chin.
Kimberly Watson visited her husband that weekend. He told her he was urinating blood and was being denied medical care.
His neck was black. My husband's neck has never been black. It was black from the back all the way to his chest. He had scratches from his shoulder down to his arm. You can see where the cuffs were so tight that they dug into his wrist. He has cuts, and they're still clotted up on both his wrists.
Prison officials tell a different story. Thomas Maley, a spokesperson for state corrections, says cameras indicate Watson was the one who assaulted a captain. Maley said in a statement, quote, following the incident, while in the shower, Mr. Watson assaulted a member of the National Guard. State officials also say Watson was not denied medical care. On a recent visit, Kimberly Watson held up this sign to protest the treatment of her husband, who she says is being targeted not only for his grievances, but because he is a practicing Muslim. Watson is up for release next year. His wife says he needs a transfer out of Wende and hopes to serve his time with dignity and the basic rights to which he is entitled.
I'm just hoping this gets some attention. Somebody out there that has compassion, that wants to reach out and help, get my husband home, get him to another facility, make some noise, let Wende know that this is not going to be swept under the rug.
Now, as for what happens next, you heard from the spokesman from New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision saying that there is body camera footage of this incident. We have already requested that body camera footage through the state's Freedom of Information law. On your side in Buffalo, Charlie Speck, Channel 2 News.